Let's get started. What's going on, people? This is Chad.
And this is Holly.
And we have a special guest to this. I'm really, really excited to introduce you to one of our star clients and amazing person, Amber. And so, Amber, you've been working with us. Tell us a little bit about you. Give us some backstory, like who are you, what, and then like you can go into like what you do and that type of stuff.
All right. Well, hey, you guys. I'm Amber. I am a board-certified integrative and holistic nutrition coach, and I am a certified life coach. And basically, my story is this. I, like probably a million other people, went through rough childhood, learned horrible coping mechanisms, went through, phase with drugs, went through phases of getting myself sober, and then having horrible coping mechanisms continue, but with food. And then thinking that I was doing great things for my body and my health, but totally wasn't. I got very sick at the end of my 20s and actually spent my 30th birthday in a hospital, being really sick. And hearing doctors tell me that I wasn't going to be able to work out anymore, that this was my current life. This was going to be like my life, right? That I was just going to be this sick person at 30 until whenever. And that was really unacceptable to me, like beyond unacceptable. And I decided to go on a journey of figuring it out for myself, since I wasn't getting, help from doctors. I spent years going to different doctors, right? And it wasn't working. And I finally just went, it's got to be something in my diet, And I started doing my own research, and I put myself back into through all different kinds of fad diets. I put myself through just anything that I could think of. I was just willing to try whatever. And I finally figured out the foods that worked for my body, and I finally understood that food is medicine. And the right food for the right person, the right body chemistry, like you can heal your body through anything. And I went from, I had gained a ton of weight after I got sick. I mean, my highest weight was 273 pounds, and I had no confidence. I mean, I was just sick, and it was awful. Like, that's no way to live, right? That's not living, right? So I decided that I wanted to go back to school, and I wanted to help other people. And I knew that if I could do this for me, from knowing absolutely nothing and, healing my body and all of that, I knew that I could help other people. And that is what I do. And I don't just work with people with chronic illness. I don't just work with weight loss. I worked with athletes and, a wide variety of people. So, I mean, that's the gist of my story and what I do.
Got it. That's awesome. So how did you find us, and like why did you start to kind of like consume some of our stuff, and like what had you like
where were you at business wise?
Yeah, where were you at business wise when you found us?
Okay, so last year I sold my home. You guys are so cute. So last year I sold my home and everything I own, and I decided to go on this journey around the country. And I've been studying meditation, and I've been meeting lots of really interesting people, getting to see parts of the country I'd never seen before. All of that is wonderful. But when you're stationary, it's really easy to get clients. When you're moving around, it's really hard to get clients. And yeah, you guys know. And when I realized, I was like, I want to keep working with clients, I still want to build my business, I was like, I'm going to have to figure out how to market myself through social media and stuff. And I just happened to meet Holly, and we just happened to talk about our health stories. And then I found out what she did. Like, I didn't even, that's, talk about the universe delivering. I can't take credit and say, oh, I sought Holly out. Like, Holly was just delivered. So I found out what she did, and I found out, what you guys do together and your coaching, and I was like completely on board. I mean, I thought you guys totally understand my whole philosophy of, authenticity is key. And I just understood that I was going to learn a lot from you guys. I mean, you guys, I knew nothing about marketing myself on social media. I knew nothing about creating funnels. I knew nothing about creating a webinar. And I was really oddly shy about self-promoting. And you guys taught me how to get over it pretty quick. And, you guys gave me all the tools that I needed to really let people know, like, hey, I'm not stationary, but I can still work with you.
That's awesome. That's awesome. So, so you basically went from like just working with people like on like a stationary in the town, actually meeting them face to face, to now like, holy shit, what do we? Oh, I'm gonna have to bleep that or something because it's promoted. Anyways,
I think we should just roll with it.
Roll with it. I'm just. Anyways, so to like, okay, I'm traveling now. I have to figure out how to get clients, and
right.
What can I do to make that happen? And then you found Holly. Her story really connected with you, and then you like started like watching our webinar, and then you got into our course, and you got into coaching, that good stuff. And so you basically had essentially no like real, like you had clients. Were you working with clients that were like stationary clients? And then like, how were you dealing with them if you were traveling?
Well, now, I mean, I'll be totally honest. I lost a lot of clients because I decided to travel, and I was able to retain like 5 or 6, and we still they were willing to work virtually, and they understood they were still getting the same quality of information and of assistance, and I was still available to them. It just we weren't seeing each other face to face, and so they were super, super, super nice to, kind of adapt, I guess I should say. And then since then I have gained clients all over the country. Since working with you guys, I've gained clients all over the country who like didn't bat an eye at the fact that I was virtual, and, and like, we may not meet face to face today, maybe one day we will. But I mean, they were totally cool with it. And I've, because of working with you guys and, acquiring these clients, like I have met some of the most amazing people I've ever met, honestly.
That's awesome.
That's amazing.
So that's so cool that you're able to like replace these people that like didn't really see the vision. You probably lost your clients that weren't even the good clients. Like, I'm not going to say that 100%, but that might be like
all clients are good clients. All clients are good clients.
No, that's not true. No, and I'm not
but
saying.
When you're attracting your perfect clients.
Yes, that's the difference, Holly. That's the difference.
Well, this is the thing: is if the best clients will follow you no matter what.
Yeah.
So the ones that probably followed you on the road, we'll call like on the road, are probably.
Really?
The better ones, and then now you're attracted. Right. You learned through our stuff how to attract more of those perfect clients.
Yes, that is the key. And actually, I had always heard, like you've got to target your perfect client, your ideal client. And I had a rough idea of who that was, but with working with you guys asked me the right questions that nailed down my perfect client. And then you talked to me about how to change my language and my voice to attract my perfect client. And literally the very next day after I created my group and I implemented those skills that you taught me, I had like 5 new clients within, I don't know, 10 days or something.
I mean, they were just rolling in, got another message.
Rolling in.
Boom,
yeah.
boom, boom.
Right. Right,
You
right,
can
yeah.
those here, so that's awesome. And so your client, like on the top end, paying you like seven, like, and that's like what is your biggest package right now?
My biggest package is $33,000.
Sweet.
It's an annual contract, and there is a ton of material and work that goes into that. And I mean, we could talk for an hour about what goes into that. And then my smallest package, honestly, is like an hourly rate of $199, which isn't a ton of value. Isn't a ton of value. I mean, in terms of what I can do for you in an hour, but still, that's my base hourly rate.
I gotcha. Okay, so we'll work on that. No. but no. So that's awesome that you're getting amazing work. So that group, your group that you built, had no people. That wasn't a thing until you started working with us.
It was a thing before, and I had dropped it for about 6 months, and I hadn't put anything into it. And looking back, my previous content was pretty, I mean, it was decent. It was like, maybe like a C on the effort scale. But now that I understand my voice and how I want to speak to my ideal client, how I want to, keep my group interested and informed, I mean, my engagement has picked up. My group went from 200 people, today it's 300 people, and it's only been 2 weeks. And my engagement went from being like, 48 to whatever, 48, 55 people to like, I have about 100 and I think 85 people that are pretty active in the group now. Oh, yeah. So when my voice improved, when my language changed, people were like, I got it. And they started, participating more.
Awesome. So what would you say to someone who may be looking at some of our programs and they're kind of on the fence or anything? Like, what could you tell them, or what would you tell them?
I would tell them, I mean, this is something I just said to someone yesterday, that, if you're especially if you're a coach, okay, if you're a coach, because that's what I am, so speaking from my own industry, if you're a coach and you're wanting to gain clients and also live the life that you want to live, because as coaches, it's really easy for us to pour ourselves into everyone else and then we're like drained at the end, right? But if you want to live the life you want to live and you want to work with your clients, then these are the people that you need to talk to, because you guys have never ever given me any kind of tool or anything that took away from me or, what I needed to do. I mean, you guys have only given me things that have added. It's never subtracted. And that's one of the things that I've noticed over and over.
That's awesome. Thank you. I appreciate that.
I appreciate you, Amber.
I appreciate you. So, awesome. Yeah, well, we're really excited. We have a webinar that we run, just for the people out there that are watching this. We have a webinar that we run every Thursday. If you're not familiar, there's probably a link up here somewhere, down here, wherever that is, literally, it's how to systematically attract your perfect client without being a guru. Like, Amber, did you feel like a guru before you started working with us?
No, heck no. And I don't feel like a guru now either. Like, I don't feel like that at all.
and you're still landing clients like crazy, right?
Yes, absolutely. I just think, I mean, I'm always in our industry, like, we always have so much more we want to learn. You guys know that, as in your type of coaching that you guys do. But I just feel more, I don't feel like a guru, and I'll never feel like one, but I feel incredibly confident that that my voice is going to be heard by the right people.
Totally.
Awesome. Yeah. So if you want your voice heard by the right people, click that link.
Go ahead and get registered right now.
Get registered now. I appreciate you, Amber. I appreciate the people that are watching this. And
I appreciate you guys.
See you on the webinar.
See you on the webinar.